Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In this session, I'll be covering all the essential information regarding the wrapping process. Previously, we exported our body, head, and combined meshes for wrapping. If you haven't watched it yet, please watch it. Let's start by analyzing our original Metahuman meshes. If you're working on a full-body custom Metahuman, I highly recommend using the combined mesh. This allows for easier management of seam areas. If you're focusing solely on the head, choose the head mesh. Similarly, if you specifically require a separate body, utilize the body mesh. I'll illustrate the logic behind the wrapping process, enabling you to work with various shapes. Let's take a deeper look at our meshes. When examining the head mesh, we notice the presence of eye and mouth sockets, which hold significant importance in the wrapping process. If you're working with a custom head mesh that doesn't have these sockets, wrapping becomes considerably challenging. It's essential to ensure these shapes are present in your mesh. While tools continue to improve over time, they aren't universally the same. Therefore, I recommend to be careful in areas where vertices intersect, because not all tools accurately calculate these regions. As a practice, I often separate these areas to avoid confusing the wrapping tool. Once the wrapping process is completed, we can sculpt it back to its original shape. Today, I'll be using Faceform Wrap. Tool is provided by one of our users from Faceform to assist with our processes. A big thanks to them for this contribution. I'll demonstrate 3 methods to wrap your meshes. You're free to use any software you prefer. The key here is to understand the logic behind the process. I will show very basics of this tool, but you can find tutorials on their website or YouTube channel for more guidance. Also, please note that this is the first time that I'm using Faceform Wrap. So this tutorial is only for information and we may not solve related issues. If you have any further issues with Faceform Wrap, please contact with their support. Let's start by opening Wrap. To import our meshes, simply drag and drop them into the node window. Inside the node window, press the tab key and search for wrapping. Add the wrapping node. Then connect the original head to the first slot and the custom head to the second. Our first method involves automatic calculation, which works well when the meshes are quite similar. However, it might not be suitable if the shapes are significantly different, so that you can try it for yourself, but the result is not guaranteed. Let's click on Calculate. Once the calculation is complete, control your custom mesh. You can export the resulting mesh by right-clicking on the wrapping node and selecting Save. For our second method, we'll use a process similar to other tools, including Z-Wrap. Start by adding a Select Points node and connecting the original mesh to it. Next, duplicate the Select Points node and connect the custom mesh to the duplicate. Now connect these nodes to the points-to-point pairs node and then plug that into the third socket of the wrapping node. This node will match the points of both meshes. In the Editor tab, you can add your points to refine the process. When adding your points, focus on corners, creases, essential details, and rounded shape. Also, pay attention to the naming of the points. They should match on both sides. The wrapping process uses these points as references to automatically wrap the other areas by averaging the dots. Initially, you might not know where to place the points, but after a few attempts, you'll get the hang of it. Please check inner side of your mesh as well, such as mouth socket. If you're unsatisfied, you can go back and add more points. Otherwise, export your mesh. The third method is Faceform Wrap's new feature, based on curves instead of points. This might be more effective for rounded or organic shapes. While the point method wraps in a linear manner, this node allows non-linear wrapping. Let's press Tab and search for Select Points with Splines. Connect the original head to it. Then duplicate it and connect the custom head to the duplicate. To merge them, create a points-to-point pairs node and connect it to the third slot of the wrapping node. Navigate to the Visual Editor tab. You can choose to enable snap to vertices. Also, you can turn on symmetry mode on X-axis. You can turn off at any time. Click on a point, then hold down Shift to select the edge flow. Once selected, press Enter to finalize it. Continue this process for other parts. I will add lines to the eyes, mouth, and ear. As you work on your custom character, pay attention to the naming and direction of the splines. For this character, I will turn off the Snap to Vertices mode. Its topology is not suitable for this feature. Ensure the order and direction of the splines match. After finalizing your second mesh, check the spline namings. If they don't match, make the necessary corrections. Then, click on Compute. After the calculations are done, check your mesh for any issues. I noticed some problematic areas in the topology of my model. To address this, I'll add a brush node. Using the right mouse button by dragging, I'll resize my brush and then relax those areas. The logic is same for other meshes, such as combined and body meshes. Once satisfied with the final result, right-click on the brush node and save. There are a lot of other features in Faceform Wrap that you can learn more. You may do the wrapping process better and faster by learning those. If you encounter problems in the mouth and eye areas, as I mentioned earlier, it's better to split the intersecting areas. This method provides more guarantee, but also takes more time. And that's it! Good luck with your Metahumans, and bye.